Sandy kept scratching her body with a fork. The fur that fell off was used to decorate the cake. When SpongeBob saw that the cake was ruined and couldn't be eaten anymore, he started practicing karate with Sandy instead. But Sandy's itch was getting worse and worse. She felt like something was biting her, so she leaned closer to take a careful look. She finally discovered a flea biting into her skin. Sandy immediately reached out to smack it, but the flea escaped in an instant. She kept hitting her legs over and over. She even tried to bite the flea with her mouth. This left SpongeBob and Patrick completely confused. Sandy was suffering badly. She asked SpongeBob to bring over her luggage. She quickly put on a flea collar. The flea finally jumped away from her, but it landed right on SpongeBob. At first, SpongeBob wanted to keep the flea as a pet, but he was immediately bitten by the flea. Sandy quickly put a flea collar on SpongeBob too. However, the flea jumped onto Patrick. It started torturing him non-stop. Soon, Patrick's entire body was covered in swollen bumps. Patrick struggled desperately to get rid of the flea. In the end, he simply grabbed SpongeBob's collar and put it on himself. With nowhere else to go, the flea jumped back onto Sandy, but there was only one collar left. The three of them started fighting over it. What was even worse was that the flea began laying eggs. Soon, tiny baby fleas hatched. In a desperate attempt, Sandy used the collar to tie the three of them together. She thought this would get rid of the fleas, but the fleas kept multiplying. Their numbers grew larger and larger. They even chewed through the collar. The three of them started running for their lives, but they were quickly surrounded by the swarm of fleas. Their bodies were covered with bites and swollen bumps. Just as SpongeBob and Patrick were about to escape, the fleas blocked their path again. At that moment, Squidward happened to walk by. He saw the three of them desperately calling for help, but he pretended he didn't notice them. Patrick first blamed Sandy for bringing the bugs there. Then he blamed SpongeBob for bringing him to Sandy's Treedome. Sandy suggested that they work together to find a solution. Then Patrick suddenly came up with an idea. He told SpongeBob to climb onto Sandy's back first. Then he climbed up too and started eating an apple. It actually made him feel much better. Sandy was completely speechless after seeing this, but the flea army kept growing bigger and bigger. It looked like they were about to swallow the three of them whole. At the most dangerous moment, SpongeBob casually said that he wished he could just soak in water. Those words suddenly gave Sandy an idea. She put on her glass helmet. Using her karate skills, she split through the swarm of fleas. Then she opened the door of the Treedome. Seawater rushed inside instantly. In the end, all the fleas were wiped out by the water, but the seawater kept pouring in. Soon, all the residents of Bikini Bottom were swept into the Treedome as well.